All right, so we are here to talk about Puss in Boots. And
Fancy
yes,
hats
yeah,
and
we
the
have
whiskers.
fabulous hats and whiskers. I thought about like putting on boots, but I'm like, no one is gonna actually see my feet, you know?
Yeah, and it's a bit weird waving your feet up in the
Yeah,
air
yeah.
to
I was like,
show them off.
I might be flexible enough that I could pull that off. Like that's a might, but it's just gonna be weird. Whatever happens, it's gonna be weird.
Yeah, yeah. Now I'm kind of feeling sad we don't have roses, so we could do raindrops and roses and whiskers on kittens.
Oh, that would have been good.
Yeah. And like
That would
seeing
have
as you're
been.
writing about roses at the moment, aren't you, Angela? Aren't you?
I
Aren't you?
will be. I will be.
What we're on?
Oh.
We're on we're on a Facebook live chat. That's what we're on.
Yeah, yeah.
And the silly sauce.
Yep, yep, yep. Yeah, I have daffodils. I could have picked a daffodil
Not
for the
quite the same thing.
rose. I know, yeah, I realize, but you know, roses haven't bloomed here yet, so
Well, yeah, okay, but
I
not
do
here
have,
either.
yeah, I have a rose bush in my front yard. It's very persistent. It like climbs up this tree and then just like spreads over the sidewalk, over the
Oh,
path, and so you have to like
nice.
fight your way through every time.
You need photographs of that when it's nicely fully in bloom in summer to start teasing for a release in
Yes.
November. I love
Yeah,
the
I
way I keep
know.
pushing you to have a release
Yes,
date.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like,
It
I want a book. I want a
given
book.
given how quarantine goes, it may be released sooner. This may be like my quarantine book. Like, guys, I had nothing else to do. So this book is done now.
Write another one.
It's yeah, it's not the worst thing in the world, right? Yeah, then we get Cinderella next as well. Let's see. So we've got at least one person here. Again, it's showing us Facebook user, not your name. So hello, mysterious stranger.
If you do get a chance to go and click the button in the group, it will bring you to the link to connect your Facebook profile with the Be Live profile, so we actually get your name. Um, because we won't see the names until we go back into Facebook afterwards. So you're just Facebook user.
Yeah, I did put
You're
the
very
link
welcome.
in. Yes, yeah, we're glad to have you. I did put the link in the video description as well, hoping more people would see it.
Oh, right, okay.
So
I
it's
can't see
like,
that. But
yeah, it's right there. It's right there. Yeah, it's kind of funny otherwise because last time we did this, I went back and looked after the fact, and what I had thought was like one person was like three people. Some of whom are like close personal friends. And I was like, oh gosh, I feel bad. I
I was
didn't like
completely
acknowledge
ignoring you.
you at all. I thought you were all like the same person who had said their name, but there were several people there. So sorry about that.
Oh, excuse me. It's kind of getting late for me now. It's
Yes, yeah.
but not summertime yet, so it's not as late as it should be, given what time it is for you guys. It's the weird couple of weeks where we're actually closer in time.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't realize actually that that was a thing until you mentioned it. So I went and looked it up and I was like, oh, okay, they haven't switched yet.
Oh,
Which
it's
is,
fun in work where you've got meetings, and some of them are scheduled by people in America, some of them are
mm-hmm.
scheduled by people in Europe, some of them are scheduled by people in India who don't do daylight savings changes at all.
Gosh.
And literally for the month of March, meetings are jumping all over my calendar, and things that used to be at 1 o'clock are now at 12 o'clock or 2 o'clock, depending. I'm just like, when am I meant to be at this?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And then like the reminder comes up in your calendar saying, you're meant to be. I'm like, tell me I haven't had lunch yet. I thought I
Yeah,
had
yeah,
lunch
yeah.
today.
I'm not prepared. I'm not prepared.
Hi, Carolyn.
Hi, Carolyn. Let's see.
Cool. Welcome.
Yes, so glad to have you.
So we're talking about God, actually don't know what we're talking about. Daylight savings times, daffodils
Yes.
and roses.
What we're
We're
meant to be
meant to
talking
be
about.
talking about Puss in
Puss
Boots.
in Boots. This is about how these chats go, though. Very little time will probably actually be spent talking about Puss in Boots, although this is a good one. This one was really fun to read.
But here's the thing. Why did he need the boots?
Yeah, okay, that
I,
was.
I'm still none the wiser, having gone back to the original, as to why a cat needed boots. It was a talking cat,
Yes,
which no one
yeah.
knew why.
I
A
think,
talking cat who
yeah.
walked up to a king. Now, you know, if a man was to walk up to the king and say, I got these cool boots and nothing else on, never made it. Why
Oh
was
my
it that
gosh.
Puss only asked for boots and not maybe like a nice shirt
Yeah,
that's,
I know. I
down to
put on
the
like a
the
stylish
belt?
jacket because I was like, yeah. maybe he's walking around so much and doesn't want to get his feet dirty.
He's a cat.
Yeah. He's clearly like I mean, all cats are eccentric, right? But clearly this is a cat with some extra things going on. What I really found funny, my personal theory after reading this is like the cat only helped because the guy was going to eat him. Like that's what was mentioned. He was like, well, this is my inheritance after I eat the cat and like turn his skin into a coat. Like I've got nothing left. And the cat's like, okay, I'll help. Oh, hey, Carolyn, we can see you now.
Yay! And you're right, pants.
Yeah, pants.
Why did the cat not have pants?
He would, yeah, like a little suit. It'd be so cute. It'd probably be cheaper to get a suit for a cat than like boots made for a cat.
Yeah, and no one would really mind a cat going around barefoot. I mean, that would be kind of acceptable.
Right,
but
yeah,
little,
that's...
Those are cute little kitten outfits.
That'd be so cute. Maybe he wanted, yeah. I've really got nothing. I'm like, I can say just about anything because it's so ridiculous. Carolyn, what do you think? Why is he requesting boots?
Of all the things one could ask
for. Of all the things a cat could ask for. And yeah, and this also raises the question, because like, why did he not like want gloves or something as well? Like just the back legs are covered?
Well, he's standing up because walking along the king.
He's quite fancy, yes.
Yeah.
It's quite the scheme he pulls off, though. I'm like, this is an impressive heist.
I was kind of thinking it was kind of a bit like, you know, that story Stone Soup? The guy saying, like, you know, oh, a stone and water, and if you just had some carrots and a bit of onion and a bit of, oh, look, this delicious soup.
Yes, yeah, kind of that thing. Or like those stories of people trading up, like you start with something quite small and you trade it for something slightly better and slightly better. Also, the cat is quite vicious about it. Like when he's going through and like when they're driving with the king towards the castle and he's telling the peasants,
I'll turn you into mincemeat.
Yes, mincemeat. Like, I am going to rip you apart with my claws.
So here's a question, though. It's a cat.
Yes.
You know, yeah. Even a big monstery cat, they work for an ogre. We discovered last week that ogres like to eat young children.
Yes, I was fascinated by the return of the ogres, actually.
Ogres are amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this ogre was
ogres
overthrown.
Can shapeshift. Yeah. Ogre throne, yes.
Comes back so many times. Who do you need to watch?
I know, it's such a good pun. It's just like such a good pun.
But so the ogre comes in.
Mm-hmm.
They're all working there in fear, and a little kitten comes up. And okay, maybe a bit of shock. Oh God, there's a cat talking to me, but he's just a cat. They may be sharp claws, but it's not like he's a freaking lion. He's not like going rah rah. Meow, I'll kill you. They're like, between you and the ogre, I'll take my chances.
Here's a thought. So the ogre can turn into anything, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe they thought the cat was the ogre, like testing them somehow.
Yes, that would make sense.
Yeah, and so they're just like, yeah, okay, whatever you want.
That's plausible. That's realistic. You know, that he's coming along to test them and see what their loyalty is. Will they? Ooh, you're a peasant in the field, and a cat comes up to you and tells you to deny your master and say that actually this land belongs to somewhere else. And you think the cat probably is your master in disguise. So what's the test? Are you meant to do what your master says? Or are you meant to stand up and defend your master and say, I will never deny my master. This is the ogre from the castle. It's his field. Like, which one is going to get you eaten?
Yeah. So they decide to...
Peasant's dilemma.
Yes.
Your next short story.
Yeah. What are you going to do when your master is a shape-shifting ogre and then a cat comes and talks to you?
Mm-hmm. Interesting. But Puss then, okay, he terrifies the poor peasants who really did nothing to deserve it. He then goes along to the ogre and unrepentantly, savagely kills it.
Eats him.
Yeah, that's nice. No, not so much. And very vicious. I mean, for what purpose? Oh, you had some nice property. I wanted it. Not even for myself. For the guy I adopted. Why?
Kind of, just so that I think the cat can live comfortably. So he can
Oh, my hat's gone crazy.
Yeah.
In fairness, the cat is now friends with the king.
Mhm.
Uh,
That's true.
the
That's true.
king would, happily welcome the cat to, catch the occasional grouse for me and just come and sit on a gold pillow in the castle. He could ditch the miller's son, and the cat would be living happily ever after. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
just the problem with all of Perrault's stories. There kind of is some sort of like high level concept, but all the
Mhm.
motivation is lacking. It's a wee bit like,
Yes.
but why? And there's never really a good answer.
No, no, which makes them fun to talk about. But yeah, the like the character development
Somewhat
and
lacking.
motivation, as you said, yeah, there's none essentially. It's just like there was this person, and then they did this thing.
But he,
Here's a completely unrelated moral.
but again, for the wonderful opinion he has of women. Oh, the
Mm.
princess. She saw that he was pretty. Ooh, he's handsome. So by the time they'd gone for 30 minutes coach ride, she had decided she was passionately in love with him and was willing to throw herself at his feet. Now, it was lucky because it turned out he was rich, so Daddy approved.
Mm.
But if not, she was willing to like scorn her kingdom and her destiny and her job as a princess and just marry the cute guy she just met. Because women are like that.
Totally, totally. Can't tell you how many times I've thrown everything away for.
To jump at a random guy you just happened to see in the
Yeah,
street.
yeah, yeah. Jump in the car and woo.
Yeah,
Oh man,
yeah.
this one had like slightly more relationship development because they did spend like at least. Okay, it wasn't like I woke up and saw you. They've spent like 30 minutes together. For Perot, that's a really nice,
Okay, when
nice long
our
courtship.
bar for like proper relationship development is 30-minute coach journey while your dad is sitting beside you.
The bar is very low. Okay, the bar is very low. We have
On the
love
other
at
hand,
yeah.
he is a nice guy. She wasn't stuck in a
Yes.
coach with Mr. Elliot. Not Mr. Elliot,
Yeah.
Mr. Elton.
Yes, yeah. She's got so
She's not Emma.
she's got good taste. Maybe she just has very good like character judgment.
Yeah. Now here's the thing. Puss had a great plan. Get him like
Mm.
fancy clothes by getting the king to bring him clothes. And
Yes, that was clever.
he's been abandoned in the river. He needs help. Get him into the coach. This is all good. The miller's son knows none of this. He doesn't know that Puss knows the king and is actually on really good terms. He doesn't
Mm.
know that he's going to be a marquis because, he's a miller's son.
Yes.
How he might be clever, but he's not going to have polished manners because he was the third son of a miller, which meant you know, there was no hope of him inheriting the business. So
Mm. Yes.
he may not even have gotten his letters and numbers because what good were they to him? So how is he going to have the social graces and such to pull off oh yes, I am a very wealthy marquis, I own all of this, and no one spots it.
I
Also,
think
how
yeah,
is
go
there
ahead.
that a king can drive through his own kingdom and discover that there's a huge part of the kingdom owning to a noble that he hasn't appointed, doesn't know, and oh look at all this land.
Yeah.
How?
I think we've established none of them are very bright. So I picture the miller's son like just kind of he's cold from being wet in the river and he's just like huddled in this blanket like being very quiet because he's so freaked out and they just take that for like kind of good graces and manners. So I'm picturing him like kind of huddled in the corner of the coach just like oh my gosh what is going on.
And probably
The
Puss
king
every so
yeah
often with the claws going, shut up and go with it.
yeah yeah
Kind of like Will Smith's genies to Aladdin saying,
yes
shut up and just smile and go with it. Yeah.
just don't yeah.
Don't mention the jam.
Yeah, I was gonna say like yeah, jam clause. Okay, the king there's kind of no excuse for kind of thing. Yeah, the unless like it had been taken over by the ogre and they just kind of preferred to ignore that fact.
Well, would you not kind of know that an ogre had taken over a big chunk of your kingdom and thus be surprised when the Marquis of Carabas? Never heard of him, and I thought an ogre owned this. This is
Yeah,
why I haven't been near it lately.
maybe it's the sort of thing where like you're just kind of so glad somebody took care of the ogre that you're not like gonna ask many questions.
Yeah, but would
You
you not
should
like,
probably.
wasn't there an ogre here? Like, have you defeated the ogre? Are you in league with the ogre? Are you
Yeah.
the ogre's servant? Are you actually going to bring me to serve me and my daughter to the ogre for his supper?
It's all part of the plan. Yeah. So
Like, I mean, ogres don't have the best of reputations. Would you not be a teensy bit concerned about an ogre in the middle of your kingdom?
so I think we then have to assume he doesn't know.
And again, it comes back to the credibility of how can there be a big part of your kingdom and you don't know who owns it?
Okay, here's like a wild conspiracy theory. So like the land was all independently owned, right? Just like little farmers who've made it work. Ogre comes in, builds a castle,
Sure.
and tells them, "You work for me, but I don't want anyone to know about me because then they'll come defeat me. So if anyone comes by, tell them that so and so owns this land." Which then ties back to the cat coming and saying, "No, no, no! Now say that so and so owns this land."
So that would kind of work, except royal protocol would mean that a king could not just wander into somebody else's land and say, "What's going on over here?" Because he'd need a royal invitation. He'd need his bodyguards on a state visit, because either he's on a state visit and he's been invited, or he's invading. As a royal, you're not allowed to just go for a wander into next door's garden. Pick a few flowers and go home again. That's called an act of war.
Yeah, he's been invited by a cat, though, so clearly everything's just fine.
Yeah, that cat has a lot to answer for.
The cat is just like, oh my gosh. Let's see. You've frozen for a bit. We'll see if you come back. Let's see. So I don't know if anyone else is out there. Do you have any theories about our cat? Thank you, Carolyn. Great information. We usually do a recap of the story, but you seem pretty familiar with it. So would you like a recap, or do you know kind of what's going on? We kind of skipped that step. And Erika did warn me ahead of time that her Wi-Fi has been kind of spotty, so we'll see if we get her back. And I was gonna look and see if it did actually mention anything about why the boots. All right, Erika's now gone. Hopefully she comes back. Because I highlighted some things. Let's see what like exactly it says. Might as well. Okay, so the drunken elves in the system trying to sneak into someone's kingdom, entirely possible. All right, let me send Erika the link again to see if she can join us and see if we can get her back. And then I've got, there is a kind of very loose explanation of why the cat might want boots. Let's see. So the cat, it says, said to him with a grave and serious air, "Do not thus afflict yourself, my good master. You have only to give me a bag." Oh, Erika's back. Hang on. Okay, she will be here. I know, we did another countdown. Okay, yay! We switched sides. Interesting.
Oh, okay. No, Carolyn had a comment. Drunken elves in the system trying to sneak into someone's kingdom. This sounds awesome. What did I miss?
Yeah, so I was asking if she had any theories about what we were discussing.
Cool.
And why, and yeah, feel free to chime in anytime, Carolyn. And so then I was going back to see if I could find a reason why the cat wanted boots while we were waiting for you to return. So here's what I got. It's thin, but here's what I've got. So the cat says, "Do not thus afflict yourself, my good master. You have only to give me a bag." So he also asks for a bag. "And to get a pair of boots made for me, that I may scamper through the dirt and the brambles."
You're a cat.
That's why he wants. And then he does go like into brambles and catch rabbits. So
jump over the brambles.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
I think he just wanted the boots. He's just like a fashion conscious cat.
Actually, in what's her name? K.M. Shea's retelling of Puss in Boots, he demands that the girl make him a set of boots, and she spends the last of her money to do this, and it's like, okay, what's the purpose of this? And goes, I just want to see if you'd follow instructions.
I do,
I'm
yeah.
just like, I just spent all my money on this. Yeah, that's grand. They're nice boots, but I mean, really, I didn't need them. I just wanted to see if you were paying attention.
Yeah, wanted to make sure you'd be a good minion, before I waste any more time on you. No, I do like that retelling. That was actually the one I've read most recently, and so that one's a gender bent one, right?
Yes,
So
Marquez,
it kind of threw me off. I was like, oh yeah, it's a guy that has the cat, right?
Yeah. So in my Puss in Boots turns up in my current story, the one I'm writing, and when he first discovers the girl Princess Rosebud, and she's in the forest, and the cat comes, and she wakes up in fright to see a cat like sitting on her chest, and he jumps off, and I was like, kind of, what's it say? What did he come out with? Stroof. I'm like, oh, my cat's Australian. Okay. It's like, okay. How do I have an Australian cat? Like, what's his backstory? This is interesting.
That's brilliant. Yeah.
Have you seen Rise of the Guardians? It's a cartoon with kind of Jack Frost and Santa Claus, and
I know what it is. I've not actually seen it.
yeah, I hadn't either until my daughter insisted. Turns out, not as dreadful as you'd think it was.
Okay.
But in it, the Easter Bunny is 6 foot tall, giant bunny with kind of killer boomerangs, and Hugh Jackman doing an Australian voiced Easter Bunny. And just as I kind of, that's now the voice in my head for Puss in Boots.
Okay,
So
okay.
instead of the suave Antonio Banderas, I've got
yes.
the cocky Australian. Like, an interesting take on it. Sometimes when the little voices in your head do funny things.
Yes, yeah. Well, if he's Australian, he definitely needs boots. Don't go walking around there barefoot.
That is true.
Has
to go waltzing Matilda.
Yeah. Yes, I've not. This is one story that I like, but I've never actually planned to retell.
It's an odd one to retell in that it's like,
just because, yeah, maybe for a short story someday, probably. But for the main series, I'm like, if I just throw a talking cat into this world, we've just like changed everything.
And that's the problem, because it's like the cat is treated as being completely normal.
Right. Yes.
But if you could just maybe make it another character, a person who says, listen, I'll help you out, but kind of you have to buy me a suit of clothes first to make me look like I'm more important than my current rags. But then how would he defeat the ogre? Because, he's not going to just eat a mouse if he's a human.
You technically could. That's really
gross.
It
would be a little bit more awkward and probably not easy to do in one bite. Maybe he could turn him into a grasshopper or something, like, or a locust, one of those like little things that you eat. Wouldn't want to.
I'm just picturing you like has him be a chicken and then just like kills the chicken and eats it.
Yeah, but the point is though, how would you keep it still long enough? You have to kill it instantly because it can change back.
Yeah. The cat mouse thing works really well for that.
Unless, of course, it's like turn into like a cockroach, stamp on it.
Yeah, I need to squish it.
And of course, you can't actually kill a cockroach because they will survive the apocalypse and nuclear holocaust.
Okay, so don't do that challenge with the cockroach. Not a cockroach, like an ant or something.
Ants can sneak away. They always manage to get through the soles of your boots. I mean, what is big enough that you can squash, but small enough that you can actually get it?
Maybe like a moth or a butterfly. Like they're slow-ish.
Could work.
Delicate. You're gonna feel bad, like.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's an ogre, really. So.
How about the Puss character, who's actually a person, finds a cat, a real cat, and asks it to become a mouse, and then throws the wild feral cat to eat the mouse.
There we go. Okay. Yeah. So he has like a cat sidekick.
Yeah. Or maybe just one he picks up for the express purpose of trick him into this and go. Whew.
So now I'm just picturing this conversation with the ogre, but you have like a feral cat in your bag.
Don't let the cat out of the bag.
Yeah. Quiet, Fluffy, it's not your time. And then you let the cat out of the bag, you win the castle.
Yeah. Actually, the origin of that phrase is kind of funny. It's have you heard about it? Why people say that?
Nothing's coming to mind. So tell me.
Okay, so have you heard the phrase "a pig in a poke"?
Yes. I'm not
Okay.
sure where that comes from either, but yes.
Same story. So, a pig in a poke is a pig in a bag. And it's when you're buying like a young piglet to take it home from market and you'd kill it yourself at home. You might fatten it up first. So you buy the bag with the piglet in it, and that's the pig in the poke.
Okay.
But some people put a cat in the bag instead and sold it as a pig.
Ah.
So letting the cat out of the bag was where you opened it and said, "That's not a pig. Why would I pay you for that?"
Yeah.
Because the cat comes out and you've left the cat in the bag. You've broken the secret. Apparently, that's the origin of the phrase.
That could like work its way into a Puss in Boots retelling, though.
I'm now starting to think how I can put the cat in the bag and do this now in my story.
You just need this side character who's been like trying to hustle everybody and sell them things that are like. Yeah, Carolyn says she did not know that about the cat and the pig.
Yeah. I don't know how accurate it is. It's the story I heard in terms of where the origin of the phrases are, but in these days of anyone can make up anything and stick it on the internet
Right,
and
yeah,
make it look important, you know.
It makes as much sense as anything. I'm gonna say let's go for it, and let's say that the guy. So what if he meant to buy a pig and he accidentally bought a cat, and that's why he has a cat in a bag?
Okay. To market, buy a fat hog.
Yes, yeah. And he's like, okay, yeah, I don't know what he was gonna do with the pig, but
He sold a cow. Instead of magic beans, he was going to buy a pig. But he ended up with a cat.
and he's just like, what?
I think I might be mixing up my fairy tales here.
Yeah, I'm just picturing like this sort of like cat that keeps coming back. So the cat was his inheritance. He like turns it loose, and then somehow it just keeps like popping in at inopportune times.
Ooh, the cat could be like a fairy godmother.
Yeah, but like a kind of mangy, malevolent fairy godmother. In this case, I think we lost you again. Okay, yep, we lost her again. All right, we'll wait and see a minute if she comes back. Hopefully her Wi-Fi will. Yeah, so I'll turn back to Carolyn. Yeah, that was a really interesting with the pig and the cat. I guess pigs make a lot of noise, as do cats. Like you'd have, I'm trying to think like how you wouldn't notice the difference of like a meow and a squeal, but like an angry enough cat probably. I could see that actually. Let's see if we've lost her for good, but hopefully she'll come back. Ah, yeah, that's true. You could drug the cat. And probably, yeah, like if we're talking back in the day, like kind of farmyard, there are a lot of stray cats around. Like that's an option. Let's see. I'm trying to think of any other things in this story. It's really like it's a very fun story just because of like the cat and the boots, but also quite a strange one. Let's look up the moral, because I think this was one where the moral was not like super offensive, but also didn't make a ton of sense. So the cat has helped the guy. Yep. I think she's coming back. Yay, she's back.
I'm sorry about this. The internet is gone very patchy here. I think because so many people are locked at home and they're like, internet!
Yeah.
The bandwidth drops every so often. What are we drugging?
Okay, we're drugging the cat so that it doesn't meow in the bag and give away the secret that it is a cat. Because I was saying like a cat and a pig do sound pretty different, but both are going to make noise when you put them in a bag.
Mm-hmm. On the other hand, a little piglet squealing could be a bit of a meow noise.
I can see that.
Maybe.
Yeah, so I was saying it kind of depends on like how angry the cat is, how much like a pig is going to sound.
They're tied up in a bag.
Yeah, okay, so it's very angry.
In fairness, you could put like a couple of bags around it so the sound is muffled, but you just see the wriggling around it. Look, yeah, the pig's still alive, almost.
Yeah, it's good, it can breathe.
Oh dear.
Oh, I know. So I was looking at the morals that come at the end of the stories to see. So the
Yeah.
first one seems to be kind of saying like it's good to have like a good pedigree, but if you work hard, then that also is good. But the guy does
Except,
like no work.
let's
So
say,
again, unless
yeah.
we're talking about the cat in this, but he's a cat. He was gonna be fine anyway.
And he didn't win the reward of young love. And then the second moral is, well, isn't it wonderful to look really pretty and have good clothes? Because that'll win you a fancy lady.
That one may not be so wrong. Like he might have a point there.
Well, it might get you a few dates. I'm
Not
not sure
exactly
it'll
like
get
a
you a
moral
marriage.
point, but yeah, yeah. Depends on the lady, I guess, as we've. But yeah, that one like is not. We've seen worse morals. I'll put it that way.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I think the point is as a moral, it's implying that all women are shallow enough that it doesn't matter how awful you are, dress up in a fancy outfit and you'll be fine. And when you put that with Bluebeard, he's very wealthy, but he had a blue beard, so kind of no one
Yeah,
wanted him.
yeah,
Like, because that's all that really matters. The fact that he had murdered 7 of his previous wives and no
yeah.
one
No,
knew that wasn't the
yeah.
issue. He had a blue
I know.
beard.
I loved how that was an afterthought. She didn't want him to marry him because he had a blue beard, and also 7 of his wives had disappeared. But mostly it was the blue beard.
You gotta question the priorities there.
It's so, oh man, it's so funny.
So do you know what comes up as our next story, though?
Ooh, I think, is it Cinderella?
It is!
Right? Yes. Okay. Yay! I'm so excited.
Oh, so I read 2 Cinderellas recently, and they were both really good. So obviously Lucy's Midnight Princess, or sorry, Princess of Midnight, but also the Coronation Ball, which is Melanie Sellier's.
Oh, okay.
It was a short story, The Pastry Chef's Apprentice, and she's kind of expanded it a bit, and it's a really beautiful one.
Mm.
It's only like 60 pages or so, so it's not like a really long one, but it's perfectly long. Like it's got enough in it. It's not
Okay.
bloated. Um, Anyone who's been on my newsletter, you'll know I have rather strong feelings about Cinderella. Um, like I want to strangle her most of the time and say, "You stupid." I might say this for next week's conversation, but
Okay,
both
we'll
of
call
them I
it
thought
different
did a
people.
really
Yeah.
lovely job of making her a believable, 3-dimensional character, not just a. And I'm kind of scared what Perrault's going to do of like, she stood here, she walked over here, she
It should
met the
be
prince.
interesting. Yeah.
Hey, they lived happily ever after.
Let's see. Well, probably they're both really attractive. Probably they'll fall in love at first sight. We've got to figure out. Oh, and his whole concept of like, physical beauty being so important is going to really make those ugly stepsisters like
Yeah.
horrendous, of course.
And of course, then there's the whole question of mutilation.
Yes, yeah. Always
Yeah.
a question of how that will go.
Yeah. Awkward.
Yeah. Like, well,
So, having read Lucy's treatment of the ugly stepsisters, I've been quite happy to take a few swords to their feet. They deserved every slice.
just like, oh man, yeah, that's a fun one because it's so iconic, and maybe because the like fundamental story is so simple, like yeah, there's so many different ways.
Yeah. We'll have to get Coralie in on that one, seeing as she's trying to do
Yeah,
her own
that's
Cinderella.
her. We'll have to tell her like you gotta be here.
Sure. Let's get our time. Yeah, I won't disappear on Saturday like last night, so apologies for that.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Things are like crazy right now. This is the
Yeah.
first thing I think that I've had planned that actually has managed to happen in
Well,
like
it's
a
great.
2 week period.
We're maintaining our social distance of
Yes, yeah,
7,000
yeah.
miles.
This is what we do.
But
No, but really, I'm like, this is just kind of an unprecedented thing. No one was expecting it.
yeah, more
We just
time
roll
to
with
read.
it. That's the thought.
Good.
That is the hope. All right. Anything else on Puss in Boots?
Not that I can think of.
I think we've covered it. Yeah.
So here's a question though.
Hmm.
The miller's first 2 sons. One
Oh
got the
yeah.
mill, one got the donkey to turn the
Yes.
thing
Yeah.
to grind the corn. The two of them probably joined up together to have a working mill in some sort of ratio of the profits. How did they feel when they found out that their youngest brother, who they basically shafted, had gone on, become the prince, going to inherit the kingdom, had a huge part of land of his own, independently wealthy, etc.? How did he react to them? Did he come back to them and say, let me give you some gifts of money and help you out because you're my brothers? Or was it like, ha, well, you went off with your inheritance, so this is my inheritance, and see you later, suckers?
I think probably more like that. Just judging from their reaction to him, I don't think they were close or like got along.
Maybe they could marry some ugly stepsisters.
There we go. There we go. We need, yeah, or like ogre daughters, and then we've got a whole new challenge. This did, oh, okay, here's the thing I thought of. So the ogre can shapeshift, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, this is how one married the king. It just shapeshifted into a human.
A very beautiful human.
Yes, yeah, because that's what's most important, right?
Clearly.
So,
Hi,
yeah.
I'm beautiful. I'm rich. Let's get married.
Sold. Carolyn agrees. Let's marry them to ugly stepsisters.
Yeah.
Maybe they already had like kind of some marriages lined up. They seem like, you're going in business, like you're going to have this business. You've probably got a bride. I'm picturing these two brothers marrying like a pair of sisters. So he's like, yeah, we'll just keep this all together. And then the poor other guy is just like out of luck.
Yeah, well, I mean, like he's younger brother. He's got no prospects. I mean, why would you want to marry him?
He was like literally, going to eat a cat and then just like die. So
yeah, it's like, what? Yeah, I just don't get the eating a cat part. I mean, really?
I think he's just like that desperate, and I really think that's the only reason the cat did anything at all, was like out of self-preservation.
Absolutely, yeah.
So in that sense, like it's kind of essential that he wants to eat the cat.
But the cat was very good at catching game. He could have just said, you don't need to eat me. You could just eat these rabbits I've caught for you instead. Why did he feel the need to go and create this elaborate plan to marry them off to the princess?
I mean,
again, sorry, logic not necessary.
Yeah, no, all cats are like a little illogical anyway, right? Like it's hard to pin down a cat. I think that's our moral here, is it's hard to pin down a cat.
Oh, I've got it. Cats aren't pets. Cats are masters. So, and it's even in the title, the master cat.
Yes. Okay.
So we've got it all wrong. It's not that the miller's son inherited a cat. It's that the cat inherited this lazy lump of a miller's son to be his new servant. And it's like, well, what am I going to do with you? I need to, train you up a bit and kind of move you up in the world to give me the standard of living I want.
There we go.
I can't just abandon you because I'm responsible for you. You're my servant. But let's, spruce you up a bit. So, servant, go get me some clothes, get me dressed. Then I'll go and I'll sort stuff out because it takes a master's hand to get this. Don't send a servant to do a master's job. And now, oh, good. Now I've got you married off. Friends of the king. Got you, some decent property. Now you can look after me properly.
There we go. So yeah, the cat has elevated himself.
Yes.
By elevating the servant.
Yes. It's like, servant, I need you to be more rich so that I can have a more comfortable life. Sort yourself out.
Yes, yeah. It's like, clearly you're not getting anything done. I can just see though, like, now I'm picturing like if the cat and the donkey have like some kind of relationship and the donkey's just like, you get this guy. He's so lame.
And now I'm thinking, we've got a donkey, a cat, and an ogre. We've got Shrek.
Yes. We're back to Shrek. We're gonna need another musical.
Yes. That counts.
Oh man, yeah. Okay, so yeah, we've got the whole cast of Shrek.
It kind of is though. I mean, when you said donkey, all I heard was Eddie Murphy going, "Oh my God, yeah, just kill the donkey, kill the donkey."
So I've got Eddie Murphy, but then also Hugh Jackman now. Not, yeah.
Well, no, I think it's still
Playing
Antonio
that.
Banderas. I
Is it
mean,
still Antonio Banderas for this one? Okay.
oh yeah. I
Okay.
mean, if you're going to have a cat that's dressed like Zorro, and clearly our hats say that we will,
Okay, yes, that's true.
it needs to
Yeah,
be
this one is
Antonio Banderas.
actually it's a pirate hat.
Okay, that's an interesting take on it.
That's all, yeah.
A
I was like, yeah,
pirate cat.
a pirate cat in a pirate hat.
I'm feeling a Dr. Seuss moment coming along.
Yes, yeah. That's about all I've got. But yes. Yeah, I mean, that's a super easy word to rhyme, but my mind has gone blank.
Oh, you call yourself a writer.
Yeah. Bad poetry is like one of the themes of my work, actually. For a reason. Oh my gosh. I'm really cracking myself up too, because like, so these whiskers and nose are like the ultimate don't touch your face reminder. So like, if I do, it's gonna smear. So this is actually a pretty effective deterrent.
My daughter's version of it is she's just going like this to hold the reins of her unicorn.
Oh, okay.
As she gallops along the road. I'm like, okay.
That will do.
I've hold on to those reins tightly now. You don't want to fall off your imaginary unicorn. And then she was walking through the supermarket and she goes, the unicorn is called Gleam. Gleam, okay. No, I can't put the shopping into your... I can't get you to carry the shopping. Don't you understand that you're imaginary? You know, if I put, you know, just because I can see doesn't mean everyone else can see. It doesn't make you real. So I can't put stuff in your saddlebags. Just something so, you know, talking to him as if you're real about the fact you're not real. I'm like,
yeah. This is very meta. Get some imaginary groceries for those saddlebags, like poor.
Oh no, she was doing the real grocery shopping. You see, she was carrying the milk. So
yes, like, yeah.
I can't put into your imaginary saddlebags. They're just flop on the floor.
Yeah, we'll lose the groceries. Nobody wants that. Oh man, that is amazing. I love that.
Yeah. She's big into unicorns. Well, of course she is. She's 7.
Yeah, that's fair.
In fairness, I'm still big into unicorns.
I was gonna say, yeah.
It's not exactly something she just picked up all by herself.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know where this child came from. Suddenly she loves unicorns.
I mean, clearly didn't get anything from me on that. Alrighty, well, I think we have exhausted our cat conversations.
I think we have, yeah, and I know it's late for you, so.
Yeah, it just it doesn't feel late. And then I remember I have to get up for work in the morning, and that kind of kills the mood.
Yeah, that'll do it. So this weekend I took off, like I made myself take it off, and then so Monday I'm like, okay, time to get back into things, which right now is writing, because that's like the only thing that I can do. So yeah, so that's my Monday.
So and, yeah, so by Tuesday morning I'll have a new book to read.
Okay, we'll see how bored I get. I'm kind of quarantined, so this is but really like I finished my first book because we get like, if I say snowstorm, anyone from the north will laugh at me. So maybe ice storm is a better word. Anyhow, it'll shut us down here because we don't have like we don't have ways to clear the roads because in 2 days or so it'll melt anyway. It'll be warm. So that's literally how I finished like my first book and most subsequent books. Is like we get iced in. I'm in the house with like nothing else to do, no distractions, and I'm just like, so this has the potential to become that. In which case, yeah, this book will be done sooner rather than later. So
excellent.
So yeah, fingers crossed for everyone, and also hopefully I stay sane. So.
Well, feel free to reach out to us. Post little memes in the courtyard and let us know how you're getting on.
Yeah, the meme posting has been a good outlet. Oh man, but yeah, definitely I'll stay in touch in there and just be like, okay guys, how we doing? It just like depending on how long we're all trapped in our houses, we may need to have like a long distance fairy tale ball or something. Like everybody just dress up and post some pictures. Well, I'll pick a song and dance to it.
we could do Zoom. So I don't think we can record it for people who weren't there live. But Zoom, you can see all the pictures of everybody in the conversation at the same time. So we could all be there doing twirls in our twirly dresses.
Yeah, and we could, yeah, Carolyn says yes. Okay. And we could also, I'm not sure how many people we can put in on this platform, but I do know that if we posted the link, like we could invite different people to come in live and show off their outfits.
Yes.
Which
we'd probably only be able to show 2 at a time, but we could swap them in and out.
Yeah, we'd have to like cycle it out. Like, come in, give us a fashion show. Next person, a fashion show.
Fairy tale fashion show.
Fairy tale fashion show. Okay. Yeah,
we need the fairy tale waltz. The fairy tale.
Okay, yeah, I actually have been working on it. You get me quarantined in here. I get bored so easily. So yeah. No, but I have been working on it. I have like a melody. I need to harmonize it. Fairy tale waltz is a go. Okay, yeah. This is good. This is working out.
We can do a group link up to practice our dancing to the waltz.
Yes. Yeah. We'll have to, yeah, we could do, yeah.
So really, Caroline, I don't know if you heard the previous conversation, but we decided that Andrew's going to compose some music for Fairy Tale. I'm going to call it the Fairy Tale Waltz. Because it's going to be waltz time, I'm going to choreograph a special waltz that doesn't involve any men, because let's be honest, if we all got together, it would just be a bunch of girls saying, "Yay, Fairy Tale!" So, yeah, we're planning a waltz, especially choreographed courtyard. So courtyard choreography for the Fairy Tale waltz.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. This is good. This is good stuff. Yeah. So fairy tale waltz party.
Would anyone spot that we were looking for ways to procrastinate actually writing our stories?
What nonsense!
Never.
That's not what's happening here at all.
You need a title.
I do need a title. Oh my gosh, I need a title.
Super quickly, we need to have a title ready so you can get your cover.
Yeah, I know. Because I've thought about like even just like reserving a spot with my cover designer just to make sure. But I still need, like, I have the imagery done. Like, I've put together the Pinterest board. Carolyn says she's writing while we're live. Okay, perfect. Yeah. Yeah, tell us about what you're writing if you want to, if you don't mind. We'd love to hear about it. But yeah, what Erika's referencing for me is like, I'm like a quarter through writing this book and do not have it settled on a title. I have multiple title possibilities.
So I've recommended that you should do a poll in the courtyard. Give a little description about what the kind of the plot and the themes of the book are, and throw out a few titles, see what people like.
That's a good, yeah. I should do that. I have a pretty good like first chapter even that I've thought about sharing with people. I should share it with you, definitely. It occurs to me. Because it's like when they first meet and he's not a beast yet, and it's great.
Ooh.
So this is, okay, as always, let's just spill a bunch of things here on live video, because that's what I do. So it's, so the forks that are mentioned in Princess of Mermaids, like that are designed, okay, so he's the one who ordered them, the beast, Prince Darien. And so it's the scene where he comes in to order them. So we're going kind of back in time a little bit.
Okay.
And he places the order with the daughter. And so they interact a little bit. So that's their,
and then after that he gets cursed.
Yes, yeah. Ooh, we got a description here.
Ooh.
That sounds intriguing.
So this fantasy, you say ship, it's like, is it sci-fi? Is it fairy tale-ish? What sort of genre are you aiming for with it?
I think we've got at least another world, because she's talking about like, what, 14 years on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
So she lives somewhere else. We're both just like...
Yes, new book.
Yeah. Tell us more.
We're trapped in our houses.
Yeah, I know. It felt very Rapunzel, because I've just been like up in this little, I mean, I love my castle. Being trapped in this castle is not a bad thing. But
actually, that reminded me, because Robin and I, when we met in London, we were at the top of the skyscraper.
Yeah.
A sci-fi fantasy.
Ooh. Long forgotten
That
fairy
sounds
tale.
fabulous.
That sounds delightful. Yeah, do keep us updated. Maybe we
I
should do a
enjoy
post in
telling
the
mashups of long forgotten fairy tales from
yeah.
around the world. It's definitely intriguing.
That does sound delightful. Maybe we should do a post of like what's everyone working on in the courtyard since we're all gonna
Ooh,
possibly
yes.
have more to work on. Yeah, so speculative fiction. Love it. Different stories mashed together. Love it.
So I think maybe we should all do a what's your Rapunzel moment. We're all locked in our towers. We're read a book or two or three, and we'll paint, make candles, put up as
Yep.
dummies, all those things.
We got to that point.
Yeah. And then it's like 7:15 and we start again. But maybe like, what are people working on? See, what's your Rapunzel moment? Are you going to compose your symphony or learn to dance or write a book?
Yes. Yeah.
Write a book.
Starting Monday. This is day off. We're good. Yeah. Yeah, we should do that absolutely. Because this is the benefit of online, right? And having this like global community is just so cool. Like, yes, I really, really love it.
Yeah. All righty. Well,
so
we have a few new posts to put up in the group then.
I know. I should have been writing these down. I can go back and watch the video later. What did I mean to do? I do that a lot.
Oh, it's okay. I'll just write you a to-do list of things you never agreed to.
Okay, Angela, this is what you're meant to do. That would be
write a book.
Actually, yeah.
Give your book to Erika to read.
Yeah. Done. Hey. Yeah, and hopefully you get some writing time out of all this situation as well. I know you're like working from home, so.
Well, that's the problem. You see, my company is just like, oh, good, you can work from home. Like, you do understand that there are now children at home because all the schools are closed. Yeah. And like, is that a problem? No, not at all. Sure, it's grand.
They'll just sit with their unicorn and be content.
Be lovely if they would.
Like, look, Liam, you have a very important job here. Entertain the children. Yeah.
How about I entertain you by writing you a story that you can read in about, 8 to 10 months? La la la.
Yeah,
Mummy busy.
Sound? Totally a win, right?
Yeah, I'd like that one. Alrighty, I think it's time to say goodnight.
Yes, good night. So good to talk to you, Carolyn. Thank you for joining us. Keep us updated on your book. It sounds awesome.
Yes, thank you so much for being part of our conversation and to interacting with us. It's so much more fun when
I know. I'm always glad when we have friends to talk with. And yeah, next time is Cinderella. Super excited. This will be cool. All right.
Good night.
Good night.
Take care. Bye. Whiskers today, Angela.
Yes, you're the cat's meow.
Oh dear.
I know. Like, I've only been home 2 days and already it's bad.
Get me out of here!
Yeah, like, I'm an introvert and I'm already just like, nope. We're over this.